Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-host Joey Mullins. Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, buddy. You doing all right?
Doing good, man. Ready to get into this Week 11 pick'ems for college football.
Yeah,
Got a pretty
man.
good slate coming up.
Not bad looking at all.
We'll pick the top 25 matchups here for this week coming up, and we may touch on a little college basketball as college basketball season got started on Monday night. Joey, you ready to get into this?
I'm ready. Ready,
All
ready,
right.
ready.
We'll start out here on the Thursday night game.
Ooh,
The Virginia Cavaliers travel to Louisville, Kentucky to face the number 11 Louisville Cardinals. Louisville is a 20-point favorite in this one. The over-under is 50.5. Joey,
gee,
what do you like in this matchup?
that over is a little, a little spiked up there, but I got Louisville in this one. Virginia's terrible. Um, I still have nightmares about Virginia, by the way. But yeah, they're just not good. I got Louisville winning this one. I got them covering the spread. I don't know about the over under. I'm gonna probably have to say under on this one.
I want to hate on Louisville so bad and pick them to lose this game in every game that they play in, but Louisville has looked good. They're 8-1 for a reason. Virginia, they haven't really done a whole lot this year besides beat North Carolina. Sorry. But I think Louisville will win this. I think they'll cover that spread. I also think it's going under. I hope Louisville continues this momentum that they've got right here for the next couple of weeks. And then when Kentucky rolls in there at the end of the year, they deflate all of Louisville's, you know, hopes and dreams for playoff that, and they just destroy their season at the end of the year like that. That would be great.
Yeah, Kentucky gonna be going bird hunting come the end of the year.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, travel to Lexington, Kentucky to face the Kentucky Wildcats. Alabama's a 10.5 point favorite. The over under is 48.5. Joey, what do you like in this matchup?
Well, oh man, this one it's gonna be a weird pick for me. I know in games you usually like to pick an outright winner. This one's gonna be one of those and or if winners. Um, I've got Alabama winning straight up, winning the game. But the thing is, in my mind, that would change if Leary comes out and he's focused and he's making good passes, and they get Ray Davis going early, and he can keep pressure on the ground. Then I could see Kentucky winning this game. But for the purpose of the podcast, for the purpose of pick'ems, I'm gonna have to go with Alabama in this one.
You like them to cover the 10.5?
Alabama, no, I don't think it's going to be that much of a defeat. I think Kentucky will keep it close throughout the whole game. I see this one being a touchdown game or a field goal game. Um, yeah, but if they can get Ray Davis going, I mean, that's my weird pick of these slated games.
So Alabama comes in kind of struggling this year, not the Alabama of old. Looked pretty good last week against LSU. Kentucky has struggled at times this year. Had a win against a bad Mississippi State team. Kentucky's got a shot. if they get Ray Davis going, like you said, get that ground game, shorten this game as much as possible, limit
Mhm.
possessions. Alabama is not used to playing up north in November. The thing that worries me here is this is a noon game, right in the middle of the day. If this was a night game where it got really cold and them Alabama players aren't used to this cold, this would be a whole lot better for Kentucky. But it's not. It's at noon. Kentucky will make it respectable, but I think Alabama ultimately wins, which hurts me to say it. But got to be real.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, it's one of them. One of them games. It's if Alabama's going to win, but Kentucky could win if this happens. So
Yeah. So the next matchup, the big noon kickoff matchup, a top 10 matchup. The number 3 Michigan Wolverines and all the scandal that's going on in Ann Arbor travel to Penn State to face the Penn State Nittany Lions, number 10 in the nation. Michigan's a 5-point favorite with the over-under 45.5. Joey, what do you think about this matchup?
I've got Michigan winning this one. I've got them. I got them winning, covering the spread. Um, I got the over hitting. I mean, I know this is going to be Michigan, one of their first true tests of who they've played this year, as far as like top 10 competition. But from what I've seen, their offense, McCarthy. I mean, he's having a good year. Um, I got Michigan. I got Michigan winning this one. I know it's going to be a tight game. But yeah, I got to go with Michigan on this one. I just got to go with my gut. I know they got a lot of scrutiny with the sign stealing and all that, but just judging it just based on what I've seen, the eye test of what I've seen alone from both these teams, I got Michigan winning this one.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Michigan as well, man. I got them covering the spread. I also got the under on this one though. I think Penn State does have a pretty good defense. They showed it against Ohio State a couple weeks ago, but the offense isn't really the best. I know they put up some points last week, but I mean that competition wasn't as good as Ohio State the week before, and they couldn't put up anything then. Michigan's got a pretty good offense, like you said. McCarthy, he's throw the ball around. Blake Corum's a really good running back. You can guarantee that he's probably going to score a touchdown or two in this game. He's got 16 on the season. And I just think Michigan's going to win this one. They're going to go into Happy Valley and beat Penn State. But, I don't think this sign stealing has gotten to him yet. I don't think it will. What are your thoughts on it? I really don't think it's that big of a deal because I'm pretty sure that every school does this. I mean, that Michigan just has got caught, I guess. I guess yesterday they turned over some news or some evidence that like Ohio State, Rutgers, and Michigan State was all doing the same thing. Yeah. So, what do you think about the scandal going on in Michigan?
Man, look, all college coaches, all college teams, all college programs on any level, they all do a little something like that to try to get a leg up. I mean, it's like you said, it's just they just so happen to get caught in the crosshairs of it. I don't know if somebody got mad, somebody got a vendetta against somebody or what. But every football team, I would say, has at least one person that is dedicated to watching the game, watching the signs on the sideline, and
Mhm.
seeing what play they run after this certain sign, so they kind of get a general idea. Hey, they're giving this sign, so this is probably going to be a running play, or this is going to be a pass play. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but they're blowing this up, trying to make it a big deal. And if Michigan wasn't in consideration and in the top, you know, 5 or 6 in the country in the playoff rankings, this wouldn't even be a deal at all. You'd have
Yeah,
never heard this on ESPN, nothing, I don't think.
yeah, it would have been a non-story for sure.
Yeah.
So the next matchup will be the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They'll travel to number 16 Kansas to face the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas is a 3.5 point favorite. The over under is 61.5. Joey, what do you like in this matchup?
Well, it's another one of them games that could go either way. Um, I mean, I want to say Kansas. I'm going to go with Kansas on this one, and just for the sole fact it's they're at home. If this was a road game, I would probably lean Texas Tech, but I'm going to go with Kansas on this one, and I think they'll cover the spread. And what was the over under again? It was
The over under was 61.5.
61.5. Yeah, I've got the under in this one.
So last week, after picking Iowa State and saying after the Oklahoma week, Kansas coming out and beating Iowa State, uh, you had Mr. Bean throwing for 287 yards and 1 touchdown. Neal ran for 2 touchdowns, and Kansas played pretty well against Iowa. They kind of let Iowa back in the game towards the end, but held on to win it. I think this week they'll win as well. I've got them covering the spread. I think that they'll win by 7-10. The over/under, it's kind of high. I will take the under on this. I know it's the Big 12 and they like to score, but I think that it'll be high scoring, but I don't think it'll reach that over. Give me Kansas in this one and Mr. Bean and them to continue a good season for Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Next 12 o'clock matchup, the Tulsa, are they the Golden Hurricane? That's it.
Yes. No. Yes, Golden Hurricanes. Tulane is
Take
the
on
Green Wave.
Green Wave, number 23, Tulane Green Wave. Tulane's 8-1 on the season, 23 in the nation. Tulane is also a 23-point favorite in this one. 53.5 is the over/under. Joey, tickets are as low as $3. Are you interested in heading down to New Orleans this Saturday to watch this matchup? And what do you think about it?
Oh, we can go down there and get some good food. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, you obviously got to go with Tulane in this one. They've had a good year. I know they're not in such a strong conference as some of these other teams we talk about all the time. But given what conference they're in, given what they've done, their body of work for the year, I'm going to go with Tulane. Covering the spread, I do not know. That's a pretty high spread and a pretty over under. I don't know on that one. I don't know how I would lean towards it. I don't think they're going to cover the spread. I don't think they will. I think they'll win the game, but I don't think they'll cover that bigger spread.
I've also got Tulane in this matchup. I'm with you. I don't think they cover the spread, and I don't think they hit the over on this. Tulsa's awful. 3-6 on the year. Tulane's 8-1, and last week they struggled to beat a 1-8 East Carolina team, 13-10, and they were behind 10-0 after the first quarter. So there's not a lot of offense that goes on there. Obviously they think that somebody thinks they're a top 25 team. They obviously put them in there. They keep winning. I think they'll win again, but they're not covering that big spread. And the under is definitely hitting in this game for sure. And like I said, I mean, $3 for a ticket, man. I mean,
Beat that.
Yeah, it's like a action game on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
The next matchup, and we're talking about him again this week. Number 21, Arizona Wildcats travel to Boulder to face Coach Prime and those Colorado Buffs. Arizona's a 10.5-point favorite. The over/under is 54.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
It's the magic run. Like I said last week, it's over for Coach Prime. He got a lot of work to do to get his team where he needs to be. I've got Arizona winning this and covering the spread. And the over, I'm probably going to take the over because both teams like to score.
Yeah, I'm with you too here. I think that Arizona will win this game. I think that they will cover as well. Colorado is just not good defensively. Their offensive line's not good. They're going to get Shadur hurt before it's over with. Both teams can score. I see the over hitting in this one for sure. But I think Colorado, they lost 3 in a row. They need 2 more to get to a bowl. I don't think it's going to happen. They may, they got Washington State next week, which they could win that game. Washington State has struggled down the stretch, and then they've got Utah. Utah's going to be really tough. Arizona's played really good lately. They had a big win over UCLA last week at home. I like UCLA in this match, or UCLA. I like Arizona in this matchup, and I like them to cover that spread. Hitting in this one. Arizona wins in Colorado.
I agree.
$25. Kansas State is a 20.5-point favorite. The over-under is 55.5. Joey, what do you think about this matchup?
Wow. I got Kansas State winning. I do not have them covering that spread. They've had some ups and downs, bumps in the roads this year. And they lost to Oklahoma. That was 8-point loss there. Texas took them to overtime. But I got them beating Baylor, but I can't go with that spread. I can't. I don't see that happening. But yeah, I've got Baylor winning this one. Not Baylor's. Now I'm all twisted up. I got Kansas State winning. Baylor is just not having a good year.
I'm also going to go with Kansas State on this one. They took Texas to overtime. Probably maybe could have beat them last week. A few things would have went their way. They would have won that game. I'm going to go with Kansas State here. Baylor has just been awful this year. Their 3 wins that they have are against Long Island. It's not even a Division 1A team. And then they beat Central Florida by 1 and Cincinnati by 3, and those teams are bottom of the Big 12. They're brand new to the Big 12, and they're way at the bottom, and Baylor's down there with them. Baylor's horrible, just falling from the last couple of years. I got Kansas State winning this one. I don't have them covering because the spread's really big, but I can see Kansas State winning by at least 2 touchdowns. And I'm also going to take the under on this one as well. 55.5 is a lot. I don't think these two teams together, will add up to get that. But give me Kansas State in this one to win that one. The next matchup, big rivalry game. The Miami Hurricanes travel to Tallahassee to face the number 4 Florida State Seminoles. Florida State's a 14-point favorite. The over/under 50.5. Joey, what do you think about this rivalry matchup?
Well, I've got Florida State winning this one easily. I got them covering the spread, and I got the over. I mean, Florida State's proved that they can put up points. They struggled last week putting up points against Pitt, but outside of that, and the Virginia Tech game, they can put up points. And Miami can also put up points as well. When they played us, it was 41-31. They put up 31 points. I mean, it's a 72 over/under in that game. So I got the over hitting, and I got Jordan Travis and company handling business at home and staying in that top 4 for the playoff.
Florida State last week struggled against Pitt for most of the game, but they still ended up with a 17-point win. Miami has struggled lately. Like I said, I mentioned this last week. Ever since that they decided to run the ball because they don't kneel at the U, and like I said, I said before, and also you don't win like that either. Against a team like Georgia Tech, you should have won that game, and just stupidity lost it for you. Last week, a horrible loss offensively, nowhere to be found for Miami against North Carolina State. We team is struggling here down the stretch. And I think that they're going to struggle again this week. I've got Miami. Oh, no, I don't. I've got Miami to lose. I've got Florida winning. I've got Florida on a push. I think they win by 2 touchdowns. And the over-under, I'm also going to take the under in this one. I just don't think Miami's got enough firepower to get them up over that hump. Florida State will score enough to win in this one, and they won't go over, but they'll push on the spread here. Give me Florida State in that rivalry matchup.
Well, you think about this real quick. Touch on this. If you look at Miami's record, 6-3, against NC State, that could have been a win. Okay, so then now they're 7-2, and then the Georgia Tech game, if they should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you look at their record, 6-3, and what could have been, and they're a talented team. They just, that Georgia Tech one loss was that just blew my mind. That was crazy.
I believe that deflated their season right there when they done that against Georgia Tech, and ever since then they haven't been the same as they was before.
No, I agree.
Next matchup, we head out west, young man. The Pacific Northwest, number 18, Utah Utes travel to Seattle to face the number 5 Washington Huskies. Washington is a 9.5-point favorite. The over-under is 53.5. Joey, who you like in this one?
I got Washington winning this game. Oh, man. I mean, this is going to be the game to watch right here. I think it's going to be one of the most entertaining games on the slate. Both teams are good. Both teams can throw the ball. I mean, what can you say about Penix? I mean, he's so far he's lived up to the hype for the year. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game though. And but I got Washington winning. I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the over under, but I don't see Washington covering the spread 9.5. I see this game being a shootout right down to the whoever's got the ball last to win.
I'm going with you on Washington winning this game, but I think Washington will cover the spread. I think the over-under is going to hit, too, at 53. I mean, Washington puts up, aside from that Arizona State game, I mean, their lowest total of the season was 31. And they beat Arizona 31-24. I think that they'll put up more than that against Utah. Utah has played good this season, aside from the game against Oregon where they just got absolutely pounded. I don't think they're going to get absolutely pounded in this one, but I think that they will lose. They had a big win last week, huge win. But I see them falling. I could see this game like 45-24 or something like that, 28. I think that Washington's got too much firepower. I don't think Utah will be able to keep up with them. Like you said, Penix is just on another world right now. Johnson, the running back's really good. They got Dunze, the wide receiver, and then the other wide receiver that they've got out there that high-powered offense. Give me Washington, and they're covering, and the overs hit. Next matchup, we go to the SEC. Another top 25 matchup between two teams. Number 13, Tennessee Volunteers travel to Columbia, Missouri to face the number 14 Missouri Tigers. Tennessee's a 1-point favorite with the over-under at 58.5. Joey, what do you think about this matchup?
This one's going to be another good one to watch, especially if you're an SEC football fan. And I know, I know you're a big Tennessee fan and all.
You
Oh, Lord. I'm telling you. Now, I have to lean towards Tennessee in this one, even though I'm not a fan of Tennessee at all. I'm like you. I don't like anything about Tennessee. But as far as like just looking at sports, taking the hatred for teams out, looking at the game, I got Tennessee winning this one, and obviously I think they're going to cover that spread, and I'm taking the over in this one.
The over is definitely going to get hit in this one. These two teams right here can put up points, and they can put up points in a hurry. Missouri last week hung in there with Georgia for the longest time. Like they were saying the last couple of years, last year Tennessee was a contender to the East against Georgia. Georgia beat them down. The year before, Kentucky was a contender to Georgia. Georgia beat Kentucky down. Missouri this year, contender to the East to Georgia. Georgia barely squeaked by them in a close game. Missouri's better than what I thought they was for the year. I'm picking Missouri, even though I do have that hatred of Tennessee. I can't put it to the side here. This is a close game. I'm rolling with Missouri. I think that they win. It's at home, so that helps. 3:30, big CBS game here. The over's definitely hitting in this one. Brady Cook and Burden, they got a good, you know, Tennessee likes to run the ball, ground and pound there. But give me Missouri in this one here, and definitely the over. Because man, I hate Tennessee. The next matchup, the number 15 Oklahoma State Cowboys coming off of the big win against Oklahoma last week in Bedlam. Travel down to Orlando to face the Central Florida Knights. OK State's only a 3-point favorite in this one, with the over-under at 64.5. Joey, what do you think about this game?
I got Oklahoma State winning this one. They are kind of surprising me too this year. They're a lot better than what I anticipated them to be. But yeah, I've got them. I've got them winning this game, and yeah, it's I mean, it's going to be a competitive game. I don't think it's going to be no blowout city, but I got Oklahoma State winning, and I've got them covering the spread.
You like the over or the under? 64.5.
Uh, I'm probably going to go with the under in this one.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to go with the under.
I'm with you. I'm going to take the under on that one, too. Central Florida played Oklahoma really close a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State just beat Oklahoma last week. Oklahoma has really surprised me for this year as well. Oklahoma State, I think I really started paying attention a few weeks back when Kansas State went to Oklahoma State, and Kansas State was ranked higher than what they are now. And they were 11 and a half point favorite over Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma State beat them pretty easily. And ever since then, Oklahoma State's been building this momentum. Momentum, like you said, they weren't expected to do a whole lot. Had a big win last week against Oklahoma in their last rivalry game before Oklahoma travels to the SEC. Give me Oklahoma State in this one. I think that they cover that 3-point spread. And also, I'm going under on this one as well. But OK State will keep it rolling, and they'll win. Next matchup, boy, get ready for this one. We're heading to the Big Ten. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights, coming off of an impressive performance against Ohio State last week. They hung with them for a while. They traveled to Iowa City, Iowa, to face the number 22 Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa is a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under in this one is 28 and a half. 28 and a half. Joey, who you like in that matchup?
You can get tickets for $18.
Yeah. Almost higher than the
Yeah.
over-under.
Wow. Oh man, this one's got kind of if you're not a fan, if you're a fan of offense, this might not be the game for you to watch. Um, uh, I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna go with Iowa in this one. Definitely, they should win the game. Um, just sitting here, just looking at I mean, Iowa last week squeaked out a 3-point win against Northwestern. So yeah, I'm gonna take Iowa in this one. I think I'm just trying to decide this over and under. That's one of the lowest over unders I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm. It might be the lowest
Um,
ever. I don't know. That's low.
I don't know if I've ever seen one that low.
I don't think I have.
I'm probably going to say the over in this one just because the over under's so low. I'm going
Man,
to take the over, but I got Iowa State winning. Or Iowa, not Iowa State. Wow, it's been one of them days. I got them covering the spread too.
Ohio
4.5.
State's got a really good defense too.
Yeah.
Rutgers, uh, put up 16, I think it was. Iowa has a really good defense as well. They might have the best defense in the country. But you go to the other side of the ball, and yeah, the offense is ugly, 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 ugly. I've got Iowa winning. This is like a 13-16 game probably. I think Rutgers will put up a little bit of points because they put up some last week, but once again, not a lot's going to happen here. I got the over on this one too, only because the under is so low. That's a new bar right there to set in Iowa. Usually you take the under in every Iowa game, but where it's so low, I'm going over for the first time in an Iowa game in a while. Give me
Me
Iowa to
too.
win and give me the over on that one.
Me too. Usually, if you see Iowa playing, it's under every time. But this one, I don't know.
No doubt. Now, the next matchup, the Stanford Cardinal travel to Corvallis, Oregon to face the number 12 Oregon State Beavers. Oregon State's a 21-point favorite with the over-under at 54.5. Joey, who you like in this matchup?
Stanford's terrible. I mean, they're one of them teams that we talk about all the time. Like, they just don't have any kind of firepower. They don't have it. They don't have it going on this year. I got Oregon State winning this one. I always butcher their quarterback's name, but Yugi, that's what I'm gonna call him.
Yeah,
He's yeah,
DJ.
yeah. Oh, DJ, he's having a good year. He only threw 4 picks, 18 touchdowns. I mean, that's a decent year. So yeah, I got Oregon State winning this one, covering the spread, and I got the over in this one.
I'm gonna roll. I don't think they're going to cover the 21-point spread. Last week they, let Colorado hang around. They only beat Colorado by 7. Stanford, of course, beat Colorado last 29-0 at halftime. I don't think Stanford's very good. I don't think Colorado's very good. Oregon State's a good team, but I don't think they'll put up that many to where they'll beat Stanford by that much. They'll win the game. They won't cover, and I've got the under in this matchup, but I've got a Beaver win. Next matchup, SEC top 10 matchup, the second top 10 matchup of the game of the day. The Ole Miss Rebels, number 9 in the nation, travel to Athens, Georgia, not Atlanta, to face the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia's a 10.5-point favorite. The over/under 58.5. Joey, what do you think about this top 10 matchup?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, if this could be the week. I know I probably say this every week, but this could be the week if Georgia better come out focused because they're not dealing with a team that's bad. They're dealing with Ole Miss is not a bad team. I mean, one loss on the year. I got Georgia winning this one. I don't see Georgia covering the spread in this one. I see this being a pretty close defensive game, and I'm gonna go with the under in this one. Just judging by looking at scores and just I think this is going to be one of the grinded out defensive games. But I got Georgia winning, not covering the spread, and I got the under.
That spread or that over/under is really high, especially for a team like Georgia with their defense. Ole Miss can put up points and can put up points in a hurry, but this is a different team. They're not facing. They're facing Georgia. They're facing the cream of the crop. On the other hand, Georgia is going to have to deal with that offense of Ole Miss. Ole Miss likes to run the ball. Lane Kiffin, he just don't care. He'll talk trash the whole time, win or lose. If he wins, we'll never hear the end of it from Lane Kiffin. I mean, he'll let everybody know it. But I don't think that'll happen. If they can somehow get past Georgia here, Ole Miss is looking pretty good for maybe even being in playoff contention. I mean, they're number 9. A lot of things would have to happen before that would happen, but they could somehow squeak it out. They'd be in there. But I don't think it's happening. Georgia wins. Ole Miss will cover, and the under's getting hit in this one too as well. But it should be a fun one to watch.
For sure.
The next top 25 matchup is West Virginia Mountaineers at 6-3 travel to number 17 Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma's a 12.5-point favorite. The over/under is 58.5. Joey, Oklahoma's limping into this game after 2 straight losses. What do you think?
I think they're going to come out ready to play. They're going to come out focused. They're going to come out with a chip on their shoulder. I got them winning this game. I got them covering the spread, but I'm going to take the under in this one. I think it's going to be one of those kind of mid-scoring games. I don't think it's going to be offensive explosions or anything. But I got Oklahoma winning and covering the spread.
I got Oklahoma winning as well. I think that they will cover the spread. They're going to come out a little pissed off after the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel and Nick Anderson, they're going to find each other this week. I've got the over in this one. I just think it's going to be a classic Big 12 leave your defense at home game, and we're just going to shoot it out right here on the field. Give me Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma to cover and the over in this one as Dylan Gabriel and them get back on track.
Well, that's the key for the over. If they can link up, if him and Anderson can link up like they did a few weeks ago, then yeah, the over's got a good chance of hitting.
Next matchup, Michigan State Spartans travel to Columbus to face the number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State's a 31.5-point favorite with the over/under at 47.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
Oh man, just as sure as I say that I got Ohio State winning, not covering the spread, they'll come out and just absolutely clobber Michigan State, which I think is what's going to happen. Michigan State just doesn't have. I mean, they're not. They don't even have enough talent to even compete in this game at all. I see this game being over before halftime, and I'm going to say they're going to cover the spread. I'm going to say Ohio State's going to cover the spread. I think McCord's going to finally link up, find Harrison Jr., and he's going to have a kind of a breakout game from the past few games of what he's had. I think he's going to have a big game. And I'm going to take the over in this one.
Michigan State's bad. Michigan State's horrible. 31.5 is a lot, especially for an Ohio State team who they've got a great defense. They could stop anybody. The offense, not so much. Kyle McCord, we've talked about him. He hasn't got it going yet, even though he does have the best receiver in college football over there that he doesn't utilize as much as he should. But I think that they will win this game. I don't think that they will cover. They have not beaten a team by more than 31 all year except for Western Kentucky. I think Michigan State's better than Western Kentucky, maybe. I'm taking the under on this one as well, 47.5. But I think Ohio State wins, but a Michigan State cover.
Wow.
Next matchup.
Real quick, did you notice real quick? Harrison Jr. only has 914 yards this year.
Yep.
Now, if you would have asked me without looking at the stats, how many yards do you think he has? Over, under 1,000. I would have said over and bet anything on
And, 914, that's still averaging over 100 yards a game. And that's with him last week and a couple weeks ago, not even reaching like 50.
I know it. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
What could be if Ohio State? I think that's what they're lacking, man. I think ultimately that's what's going to cost them the championship.
Yeah, it's the lack of the offense. The quarterback play is
The
really
quarterback,
what's
the
going to.
quarterback play. I think that's going to cost them if they make it to the championship game and they're playing somebody. We won't know for sure yet, but if they make it there, I think the quarterback decisions and quarterback play is going to cost them. That's just my opinion, though.
I'll be interested to see what it looks like in 2 weeks when Michigan rolls into town.
Yes.
See how that goes. That'll be a fun one. The next matchup, number 7 Texas Longhorns travel to Fort Worth to face last year's national runner-up. They definitely aren't in the running this year at 4-5 TCU Horned Frogs, the fighting Andy Daltons. Texas is a 10-point favorite with the over-under at 53.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
Let's see. I've got Texas winning this. TCU is just not having a year like they had last year. I've got Texas is too strong. Overall, just a bad matchup for them. But yeah, I've got Texas taking this one. I'm probably going to take the under in this one, and I got Texas covering spread.
I'm with you all the way on this one here. I think Texas is going to win. I think Texas is going to cover the spread, and I think that Texas will. It'll be an under too on this. Texas, I'm not sure if Quinn Ewers is coming back. I know they said that he's day to day, but Malik Murphy has stepped up pretty well for him in the last couple of games. Last week they had Kansas State beat pretty early and let him back into the game and took it into overtime. But TCU is not as good as Kansas State is, so they're not the team they was last year. So I'll take Texas. I'll take a cover. I'll take the under. Tickets for this game is as low as $189. So we can go to that one, or we can go to the New Orleans game for $3 in Tulane. Just a little bit of a difference in the price.
Not too much of a difference.
The next matchup, the SEC country, the Florida Gators at 5-4 right now, coming off a disappointing loss at home last week to Arkansas. Travel to Baton Rouge, Death Valley, to face the number 19 LSU Tigers coming off of their loss to Alabama. LSU's a 14-point favorite with the over-under at 63.5. Joey, who you like in this matchup?
I definitely like the under. I'll take the under for sure. Let's see, man. I'm gonna have to lean towards LSU on this one. I know Florida they've been pretty good this year, minus a couple like last week. 3-point loss in overtime. I'm gonna have to lean with Jaden Daniels and company to get this one done. Especially they're at home, so they're gonna have the home crowd's gonna be going crazy. I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna say the under in this one, and I'm gonna say they'll probably cover the spread.
Florida this last week, like I said, just a disappointing loss at home to Arkansas. They had their blackout where they wore all the black jerseys, black helmets, all that. It was all hyped up. Florida hasn't really had a big win this year other than Tennessee. After that, Kentucky throttled them. Georgia beat them down. LSU last week, like I said, a loss at Alabama. No shame in losing Alabama. LSU can put points up, though. That offense is high-flying, high-powered.
Mm-hmm.
I think LSU wins this game. I think LSU covers the spread, and I think they go over in this one. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think LSU will cover most of that over under right there, and they'll push it over there. Give me LSU. Give me LSU cover. And give me the over. The next matchup, near and dear to your heart,
Hmm.
the Duke Blue Devils roll into Chapel Hill to face the number 24 North Carolina Tar Heels. They're 7-2 on the season. They're back in the top 25 after last week. Carolina is a 14-point favorite. The over-under at 50.5. Joey, what about this one?
Carolina wins. They cover the spread and the over hits. Simple fact is they're at home. They're going to be hyped up to play this game. This is not going to be – it better not be one of those let's come out flat, play down to our competition's level, Virginia game, or Georgia Tech game for that matter. That still got me so just heartbroken at those two losses back to back to bad teams. I mean, it's just what I just keep thinking every time I look at their schedule and look at their numbers and look at the team, it's like what could have been if you erase those two bad losses. What could have been 9-0 right now and have a legitimate shot at the playoffs. But they'll be jacked up to play this game. Mac Brown will have them ready. So,
yeah, I'm with you. Is Duke's quarterback Leonard? Is he playing this game?
I think so. Yeah, I think he's going. I think he's playing in this one.
Don't think it matters. They're not going to win.
No.
Carolina's going to win this game. Carolina's going to cover this spread easily. Duke has had a decent season, but their 3 losses have not been close aside from the Notre Dame game. You look at the teams they beat a Clemson team who was overrated at the time, and then they beat a bunch of nobodies pretty much. Last week they barely squeaked by Wake Forest, who's not very good. Carolina, like you said, they had a disappointing loss, and then they followed it up with another loss the next week. But they get back on track here. They're back in the top 25. I think they'll stay there after this week. They'll beat Duke. They'll cover that spread, and the under's getting hit in this one. Carolina wins it in the rivalry game. The last matchup we have for the top 25 this week, it should be a good one, maybe. The USC Trojans coming off of a high-scoring loss to Washington with after the game was over with, USC fired their defensive coordinator. They travel to Eugene, Oregon to face the number 6 Oregon Ducks. Oregon is a 16.5-point favorite. The over-under is 73.5. Joey, who do you like in this matchup?
My goodness. Man, these over and unders. ESPN bet. What are they thinking? Well, obviously I've got Oregon winning this. I mean, they're to me, they are, if not the best, they're one of the best offensive teams in the country. I mean, they have it all. They got good receivers. They've got a great running back. Bucky Irvin, he's probably going to score a touchdown or 2 in this game. Bo Nix is only threw 2 picks all year. I mean, he's just solid. He don't get rattled. If they get down early, he won't get rattled. Yeah, I've got Oregon winning this. I got them covering the spread, and I'm telling you, I can see this over coming close to the 70s. I'm gonna say the under, but I can see this game being in the 60s, mid 60s, close to 70.
I could see it going over for sure. Both these teams' offenses are good. USC's offense is really good. Their downfall is their defense. And I don't think that even though they fired their defensive coordinator, you're not going to fix things in a week. And you're not going to have a defensive coordinator step in and try to stop Bo Nix, Bucky Irvin, Troy Franklin, Tez Walker, that whole crew right there. Good luck. It's like, yeah, welcome here. Your first game. Here's your first assignment. Here we go. It's not going to happen this week. It's not going to happen overnight. It ain't going to happen the rest of the season. USC's defense is, they're screwed for the rest of the year on that end. But offensively, they can still put up points. Oregon's got a pretty decent defense, but this is probably the best offense that they've played all season outside of Washington. Washington's probably got a little bit better offense. This is why I'm taking the over on this one. I could see that happening. I mean, you get to where it's, 45 to 35, and you've hit that over. Give me the over. Give me an Oregon cover, and Oregon will win this game.
I agree.
All right, so that's the picks for NCAA football for the week. We've had a few basketball games this past couple of days. Kentucky played Monday night, ended up getting a 40-point win over New Mexico State, a game that they're supposed to win, and they won it. A good showing for Kentucky there. Your North Carolina Tar Heels, they played Radford, and they ended up winning that game 86-70, 16-point win. Joey, what'd you think about the games Monday night, the first day of college basketball?
I think they went pretty good. Kentucky, they come out, show that they showed they've got a good team this year. Like I said, it's going to be a good year for Kentucky. They've got a little bit of experience that's come back, mixed in with some new kids. I think they're going to be just fine. In Carolina, they struggled in this game early. I mean, I watched it and I was, kind of just, halftime we should be up by 15, 20 on this team, and lo and behold, we only took a 5-point lead in the half, and I'm, started having flashbacks. Here we go. It's all starting to come back to me from last year, but they come out in the second half and got it done. So a win's a win. I'll take it. But I'd like to see a little better showing from Carolina. I mean, Baycott, he had 13. He had 25 points, 13 rebounds. I mean, that's a pretty good game for a fifth year senior. He's got to do better than that though, because Radford's not the level of competition that you play down to. He could have had some more rebounds, but overall, I was pleased, and it's going to be a really interesting year for college basketball. It's already had a few upsets this week, so
Yeah, I was going to mention Monday night, big upset in Lansing is James Madison took down number 4 Michigan State Spartans and the most overrated coach in college basketball, in my opinion, Tom Izzo, 79-76. Not the way you want to start the season if you're Michigan State.
no. And you're preseason ranked number 4. This is why I hate preseason rankings. I do not like them. I don't think they should rank the teams until like after the Thanksgiving tournaments or whatever. I don't think they should rank the teams that quick. I think they puts too much pressure on these kids. They come out, no doubt in their mind when it was in overtime. All them kids from Michigan State was thinking, "Oh my gosh, we're number 4 in the country." Yeah, but they haven't even played to earn the number 4 spot yet. So maybe that goes to show Tom Izzo, maybe you got some work to do. You don't have a top 5 team right now. So
Nope, definitely don't. Another upset last night was DePaul falling to Purdue Fort Wayne, formerly Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne. 82-74 at DePaul's home court. DePaul wasn't ranked, but you should still beat a team like that, and to fall like that on your home court, that's not a good start to their season either.
no, it's not. And then circle it tonight at 7:00. I mean, you got FAU, number 10 in the country. I mean, you never know. They're playing tonight, so they're playing Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, Sister Jean and Loyola Chicago Ramblers.
And then
Uh,
ESPN's giving Loyola a 41.3% chance to win. So, like I said, look out for this one.
yeah, FAU's only a 6.5 point favorite. FAU got a lot of love being in the top 10 because of that Final Four run, but we'll see if
Mm-hmm.
they can carry it over. The next matchup for Kentucky, they play Friday night. They play Texas A&M Commerce. I expect that Kentucky will win this one too, pretty big. This shouldn't be much of a game. And then next Tuesday, Champions Classic, Kentucky faces Kansas.
Mm.
Carolina, their next game is it Sunday?
Yeah, against Lehigh Mountain Hawks.
Lehigh Mountain Hawks. That's a team that took down Duke back in the back about
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago in the tournament with C.J. McCollum.
Yeah, they got a kid, Whitney Sidney. He's averaging 23 a game. So, I mean, that's what spells upset, man. You get these small schools coming in; they have nothing to lose, nothing at all to lose, no pressure on
No,
them at all. So
nothing to
that's
lose, and they're playing their Super Bowl against teams like Kentucky and Carolina, Kansas, and all them.
yeah,
Well, man, that'll be our college basketball look at for this week. Like I said, we ain't gonna start picking them games until a few more weeks on in the season. Uh, we got our college football picks in, and we should tell people they should hop on the old Twitter or X and catch us on a live stream. We're starting to live stream some games here. Had a pretty good one last night. We just flip around and watch different games and just chat about it.
yeah, it's
Pretty fun
fun. I mean,
time.
I think you have that opened up. People can join in, chime in, and yeah, it's a fun time, man. I enjoy it. We got some more action tonight. Maybe we'll get that going tonight.
Oh yeah, we started last night about halftime of them games, and we went a couple hours, and it's just we do this anytime, just talking on the phone. So we figure we'd live stream it, and uh, it's a pretty good time. Anybody can come in and join in and chat with us. Anybody's more than welcome. Whoever wants to hop on with the yelling from the couch guys, we'll be there.
Yeah. Real quick before we go, did you see this? They've already got bracketology out.
Oh man, after
Yeah,
one game,
yeah. After one game, and I don't see Michigan State on here anywhere.
well, they've already got them on the bubble, huh?
Well, I'm looking at the bubble. They're not even on the first four out or the next four out.
Oh wow, that's a big
Yeah,
fall.
yeah. Well, you're
Oh,
0-1, and you're already on the bubble.
one guy named James Madison comes in and beats you up, and it's over with.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you hopping on here, and we'll see you next week on this one, and we'll see you in the live stream, Joey.
Yeah, yeah. I look forward to it, man. We'll be flipping around, tracking our bets, and talking some action.
All right, man. Sounds good, and we'll catch you all later.
All righty, man. Take it easy.